around with each other, I'm cool with that. Whoever wants to do that.
Hey guys, thanks for doing this. Ryan Karcher with the LA Times. Nice to meet you guys. If you guys could just first kind of tell us what led you, all four of you, to USC. What was, how did that sort of pursuit go, and what was it that kind of finally made that decision for the four of you?
For me, this is a great place. Coach Muss, great guy off the court, especially. I think he's a cool person, a great coach, knows what he's talking about. Has coached in the league, so I like that in terms of ball knowledge.
Ronnie said, coach. He used to coach the Dominican national team, so I'm kind of familiar with a little bit with him. Played against him when he was in Arkansas, so I really like the stuff that he put out against us. And my auntie personally graduated from here a couple years ago, and this is the first college I ever visited, and that stuck in my head. And me personally, I said that day that I wanted to put a jersey from here.
Yeah, for me, being recruited by Coach Muss, I like how direct he was. I thought he was a very good coach. He's coached NBA players. He's coached in the NBA. I also been recruited by Will Conway since I was in high school, so it was just a good fit for me.
My answer might be a little different. Coach Muss gave me the black Amex card, so. No, I'm playing. I think what really brought my attention though, accepting the challenge to compete in an environment that nobody thought I could do it in. Definitely, with his trust and conversations we had, I feel like there was the right opportunity and decision making. So I'm looking forward to an amazing season with all of us in the team.
Hey everyone, I'm Connor Morissette with 24/7 Sports. For Rodney and Chad, you guys left pretty good situations to come here. What about Eric Musselman's pitch about USC made you think that, hey, this was the right place for me, leaving spots that were pretty good last year?
I feel like he challenged me in a way that I wanted to be challenged in my life, and I feel like in my other situations I wasn't going to be challenged as how I wanted to. And I feel like personally I always been doubted in my life, and he said something to me it was pretty unique. I cannot repeat, but he said something to me pretty unique, stuck up with me, and he basically just challenged me and said, I think I believe that you could do that, and that to me just stuck up with me and decided to come
Yeah, for me, it's kind of similar to Chad in terms of the challenges. It's a new opportunity, a great opportunity for me to be a better basketball player and man off the court. So I have a lot of learning to do here, and that's a good reason why I chose here as well.
Rodney, have there been discussions about where you're going to play? Are you going to play on the ball or off the ball or some combination?
Probably a good combination. I look at myself as a versatile player. I can play on the ball, point guard, off the ball, score the ball, make my teammates better. Whatever the team needs, I'm gonna be able to do it. So.
Last year, you were the glue guy of one of the best college basketball teams we've seen in a decade. How do you expect to elevate your role this year on a new team in a new school?
I'm just trying to, help out the guys. I've been through that experience of a Final Four, so being able to, just drop some knowledge to these guys and, help them with, with their experience that I had. I feel like that will help me a lot to help them, but at the same time help myself to step up into that bigger role and bring my game to a bigger level.
For both Jacob and Chad, you guys, I think when you committed, it was a little bit of a surprise to some of us. We had no idea you guys were even looking at SC at the time. Maybe Jacob, you could just talk about when did you kind of figure out before you committed that SC was going to be the place for you, and kind of same for you, Chad, before it leaked out. Like how soon was it that you decided to go to SC before it was announced? And then just for Ezra, I want to ask you. Obviously, you played in the Big 12 last year for Utah. Just what, I know it's been very early so far, but what you've seen from this team, just kind of comparing it to what you saw last year at Utah and in the Big 12.
Yeah, during the recruiting process, like I said, Muss was very straightforward with me. He knew like when he wants a player, he's gonna make it obvious to you, and he's gonna go out his way. And once I saw that type of love from a coach and from the coaching staff, I knew it was a no-brainer. So, yeah.
Yeah, like Jacob said, like the whole coaching staff, especially Muss, was like pretty much straightforward with me. They said we're gonna hear baby you, but we're gonna help you become a better player and a young man in life. So that within itself, like to me, just stood out. How clear he was just about everything, and that to me, I like that. I don't like no shooter cutting stuff. So.
To answer your question, it's definitely a complete different environment, for sure. As far as, competitiveness, I don't know. I just think as the more days we stack and the more days that I'm here and that we're here, of course, we're just gonna learn from each other. So the sky's the limit for us, and that's what we're aiming for.
Chad Muss was talking about how your emotion that you play with on the court is kind of a good match for him, just as an emotional guy. Is that something you sensed kind of right away when you meet him?
Oh yes. Before I even got here, he used to FaceTime a couple of us, and there was a couple of FaceTime calls. I was like, yeah, this guy kind of much like me. So a lot of people are saying that we wasn't gonna connect good together, but I'm like the complete opposite. I'm like, you put crazy together. It might work. So, but nah, great personality. How I said, we got a lot in common. So I feel like that could help me a lot in the court as much as off the court.
You guys all went to schools last year away from the West Coast. Coach is taking you guys to the beach playing wiffle ball. What's it just been like to be like, in this new environment with the new team? What's all this been like?
Man, it's definitely a different vibe. The weather's nice out here. Back home, it was bipolar, stuff like that. Different people, getting to know my new teammates. So it's definitely been a lot of fun these last couple weeks. And we just got to keep stacking days, like Ezra said, and continue to build chemistry and to bond.
Yeah, I'm a West Coast kid, so it was different for me to be in the East Coast. And I feel like most West Coast players stay on the West Coast, so I feel like I'm at home again.
Me personally, I used to play for San Diego State a couple years ago, so I'm a little used to the West Coast. I kind of liked that a little bit more than the East Coast, so I had to go back. I had to run it back.
For Ezra and Jacob, Muss has talked about doing something different really in the front court. When he's making the pitch to you guys, what was your understanding of how you guys plan to be used or how they plan to use you, and what about the way this offense works you thought could unlock maybe something different in your game?
Yeah, I think me and Ezra aren't traditional type of bigs, so that's what Coach Muss likes. I feel like he can put us in situations to handle the ball and handle the ball and put us in like DHOs and just use us not as big men, like floor spacers, and I feel like we can use that as our advantage as traditional big men in college. They're not used to guarding players like me and Ezra.
I don't consider us bigs. I can just consider us ball players because we're versatile in all aspects. So I think, me and him are willing to take any challenge that comes forward, and we're looking forward to dominate anybody that want to step foot in front of us. So me and him ain't scared of nobody.
Another one for Rodney and Chad. I know it's so early, but being around this new group of players, you guys have had success in college basketball in the past. Are you getting the same vibes from this team? And just why or why not?
Yes, because when we got a group of dogs in here that they all want to come, we all come in here trying to get better. We're helping each other to get better. Even when someone makes a little mistake, instead of, getting on somebody, the guys are doing a good job trying to help and lead. So seeing that from everybody, not just from one person, I feel very good about this situation and how he said, what Ezra said, they ain't scared of nobody. That goes for the whole team. We ain't scared of what matchup comes.
So everyone is competitive. Everyone has a great attitude. That's the first step. And then off the court will help us as well. continue to hang out with each other, do stuff, even if it doesn't involve basketball. That stuff like that helps. So yeah, we're just gonna try to continue to build to be successful.
Last question.
Chad, you mentioned Wes coaching the Dominican national team. Did he bring that out like immediately when he's trying to sway you, or how much did maybe his knowledge of the Dominican Republic help maybe in swaying it?
It helps a lot because sometimes I speak Spanish to him, and he would try to respond to me in Spanish, and it's pretty cool, you know, having a coach that, you know, knows a little bit about, you know, where I come from, and, you know, been there and experienced that, and actually, you know, worked out with players who worked me out, you know, in the future. So, you know, it's pretty good. He knowing, you know, a little bit of my culture, and, you know, he respects that and try to, you know, help me embrace that, you know, in a way. And I feel like the guys, you know, help me too with you know, sometimes I try to mess with them in Spanish and stuff like that, and they mess with me back. So, you know, we got a pretty good connection here. So I'm pretty looking forward for this year for real.
How's the Spanish?
Who's?
Must.
Oh, it's pretty good actually. I was a little surprised. He said a couple words to me the other day. I was like, hold on.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you guys. All right, I'll be right back.